Have you ever felt like the way you think doesn't match what the world expects of you? Maybe you've been told to be more logical when you naturally lead with emotion, or criticized as too sensitive when you notice meaning where others see none. These conflicts may not be random, they reveal the lens through which you experience reality. Carl Jung believed that our minds operate through core personality functions that shape how we think, decide, and interact. Yet, most of us live under conditioning, taught to value certain traits while suppressing others. Parents, teachers, and society push us toward expectations that may never have been truly ours. The result is a life lived partly out of alignment with our authentic nature. The two attitudes, introversion and extroversion. Jung began with two fundamental attitudes, introversion and extroversion. Contrary to modern stereotypes, introversion does not mean shyness, nor does extroversion simply mean loudness. For Jung, introverts direct their energy inward, processing thoughts deeply and recharging in solitude. Extroverts look outward, gaining energy through engagement and external stimulation. Neither is better, they are simply different orientations to reality. These attitudes serve as gateways to deeper patterns, the four primary functions through which we process life. The four core functions. Jung identified four main ways people interpret the world: thinking, guided by logic, analysis, and structure; feeling, driven by values, relationships, and harmony; sensation, focused on concrete facts, details, and immediate reality; intuition, drawn to patterns, meanings, and future possibilities. Each of us has a dominant function, the one we instinctively rely on most. But we also develop auxiliary, tertiary, and inferior functions, which create a hierarchy shaping our overall personality. The dominant function acts as the protagonist of the psyche, but the weakest, our inferior function, often hides in the unconscious, surfacing in stress or conflict. Jung argued that true growth comes from integrating these neglected aspects rather than ignoring them. 8 personality types. When each function combines with introversion or extroversion, 8 distinct personality types emerge. Extroverted thinking seeks efficiency, structure, and external order. Introverted thinking internally analyzes concepts for pure truth. Extroverted feeling prioritizes harmony, empathy, and social connection. Introverted feeling, guided by a personal moral compass and authenticity. Extroverted sensation, grounded in present reality, thriving on action. Introverted sensation relies on memory, tradition, and tested experience. Extroverted intuition, visionary, idea-driven, constantly exploring possibilities. Introverted intuition, deeply insightful, perceiving hidden patterns and future outcomes. These orientations reveal both strengths and blind spots. For example, the extroverted thinker may build flawless systems but overlook emotional costs, while the introverted feeler may stand by their values yet struggle to communicate them. No type is complete on its own, each requires balance from the others. The shadow and the unconscious. Much of who we are operates beneath the surface. Jung believed that the unconscious contains not just forgotten memories but also the shadow, the traits we reject or repress. These are often qualities society has taught us to deny: anger, jealousy, vulnerability. Repression doesn't erase them, instead, they resurface as projections, sudden outbursts, or patterns of self-sabotage. Jung saw the shadow not as a flaw but as a doorway to wholeness. By acknowledging and integrating these hidden parts, we gain greater clarity and authenticity. Wholeness is not about perfection but about becoming real. Why this matters for life and growth. Understanding your dominant function and shadow has profound practical value. In relationships, awareness can ease conflict. A thinker and feeler may clash, one prioritizing logic, the other emotion, but with awareness, each can appreciate the other's perspective. In careers, alignment with your dominant function often determines fulfillment. A sensor may thrive in hands-on, fast-paced environments, while an intuitive might excel in strategic or creative roles. Problem solving also reflects these differences. Thinkers dissect problems step by step, while intuitives leap toward patterns and abstract solutions. Recognizing these tendencies allows teams to collaborate more effectively, turning differences into strengths rather than sources of frustration. Individuation, becoming whole. At the heart of Jung's theory is individuation, the process of integrating all aspects of the psyche, both conscious and unconscious. Unlike many self-help approaches, individuation isn't about fixing flaws or becoming someone new. It is about embracing contradictions, logic and emotion, discipline and spontaneity, strength and vulnerability, as complementary parts of a unified self. Most people remain fragmented, living according to expectations rather than their true inner compass. Individuation demands courage, to confront what we've denied, to develop neglected functions, and to accept ourselves as complex, multifaceted beings. Those who walk this path achieve rare clarity. Their actions, thoughts, and emotions align, not because they fit an ideal, but because they finally live as their authentic selves. The privilege of becoming yourself. Jung called individuation the privilege of a lifetime. Too often, people spend their lives conforming, suppressing instincts, and ignoring the deeper forces within them. But wholeness is available to anyone willing to turn inward. It begins with small steps, recognizing your dominant function, exploring the weaker ones, and gently confronting the shadow you've ignored. Ultimately, growth is not about choosing between logic or emotion, intuition or structure. It's about integration. Individuation allows us to live not as fragments but as whole beings, free from rigid categories. So ask yourself, which aspect of your personality have you been neglecting? The journey towards self-discovery begins the moment you stop resisting who you are and start embracing the wholeness within.